Good morning everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. This is Poonam Avasthi, your SST teacher. This is part 2 of the chapter Judiciary. Please refer page number 230 and 231 for today's topic. At the end of the video, you will be getting home task. Do that positively, and in case of any doubt or query, please write to me in the comment section, or we may discuss all of your doubts in the upcoming online class. So let's begin today's topic. Welcome all of you in part 2 of this chapter, the Judiciary. Today we are going to study about the Supreme Court and its jurisdiction. Please refer page number 230 and 231 for today's video. Students, the Indian Judiciary, it comprises the Supreme Court at the apex, followed by the high courts in different states and the subordinate courts. The Supreme Court, the High Court, and the subordinate courts are all linked to each other. Hence, the judicial system is also known as an integrated judicial system. Students, I hope you remember that we have studied judiciary is an independent organ. So, it provides impartial justice. And it can also check the misuse of powers by the other two organs of the government. Students, do you know the Supreme Court? It is the highest court in India. It is the guardian of the Indian Constitution. The Supreme Court of India is located at New Delhi. The Supreme Court comprises the Chief Justice and a maximum of 30 other judges. The Supreme Court, students, hears and gives ruling on both civil and criminal cases. Now students, do you know who was the first Chief Justice of India? The first Chief Justice of India was Justice Sir Harilal Jaikishan Das Kania. And who is the current Chief Justice of India? The current Chief Justice of India is Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde. Now students, let's explore more about this. The President appoints the Chief Justice in consultation with the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Other judges are appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice. I know students, you all must be thinking how to become a judge in India. So, to qualify for the appointment as a judge of the Supreme Court, the person must be a citizen of India, and he or she must have experience of at least 5 years as a judge of a high court or at least 10 years as an advocate of high court, or be a distinguished jurist in the President's opinion. Students, there is no fixed term of office for the Supreme Court judges. They serve till the age of 65 years. So students, you all must be wondering that ma'am, we have studied about the appointment, eligibility and term period. So ma'am, can a Supreme Court judge be impeached or removed? So students, a judge of the Supreme Court cannot be removed from office except by an order of the President on grounds of misuse of office. The process of removing the Supreme Court judge is called impeachment process. This motion must be passed by a 2/3 majority of the members present and voting in both the houses of the Parliament. I hope students it is very clear to you. Now let's understand jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Jurisdiction refers to the scope of authority and powers of the Supreme Court to carry out judgments and enforce laws. The Supreme Court, students, enjoys various jurisdiction. Let us study one by one about it. The first one is original jurisdiction. It empowers the Supreme Court to hear and decide certain cases in the first time. These cases cannot be heard in any other court. Some of these cases are dispute between two states, or disputes between union and one or more state governments, violation of constitution by any individual or government, and violation of fundamental rights. Let's have a quick look to the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Under this, we have seen disputes between union and one or more state governments, and dispute between two states, violation of constitution by government or individual, and violation of fundamental rights. All of these cases comes under original jurisdiction. Next is appellate jurisdiction. Under this, Supreme Court deals with the cases which are against the judgment of the high courts. It means the appellate jurisdiction includes appeals against the judgment of the high courts. Now the next very important, advisory jurisdiction. This empowers the Supreme Court to advise the President on constitutional issues. However, the President is not bound to follow its advice. The Supreme Court records and prints all its proceedings and judgments. This also works as the court of record. So students, why this concept of court of record is being added in Supreme Court? Because these judgments can be used by the subordinate courts throughout the country. Now students, let's have a quick look to this also, advisory jurisdiction. This empowers the Supreme Court to advise the President on constitutional issues when asked for. The President is not bound to follow the advice. Yes, the Supreme Court records and prints all its proceedings and judgments. It also functions as the court of records. These judgments served as laws and can be cited by the subordinate courts throughout the country. Last but not the least, judicial review. I hope all of you remember that in part 1 we have studied about judicial review. So what is judicial review? Judicial review is the power of Supreme Court to examine the validity of the laws passed by the government. It can also declare a law null and void if it goes against the ideals of our constitution. By this students, we are done with the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. I hope students, today's topic is very clear to you. Now please have a look to the home task. It is very easy and it is related to today's topic. Do it positively, and in case of any further query or doubt, drop your message in the comment section, or we may discuss all your doubts in the upcoming online class. This is it for today students. Dear students, don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching, keep learning.